with so much just unprecedentedness, if you will, going on in our sport, I think there's a question that some college football fans have started to whisper, or maybe even say out loud is college football okay? Because look at some of these headlines, man. You got conference realignment happening, the death of the Pac-12, rest in peace, still miss you. You got Matthew Sluka, UNLV's quarterback, during the season while they're still undefeated saying, hey, you know what? I did not get what I was promised. I'm not going to play anymore. I'm hitting the portal. You got Bo Prabula, Penn State backup quarterback, a massive part of their game plan saying, hey, you know what? I got to hit the portal if I want to be a starter next year. I know we're about to make a playoff run, but, like, I got to do what I got to do here. And, like, you can't really fault him for that. You have Marshall unable to field a team for a bowl game. You have kids flipping out of their commitment after signing papers on signing day. That was this morning with Dallas Wilson, who had signed to Oregon and then requests out of his paperwork, essentially, to then flip to Florida. Like, there's a lot going on. And, again, it's very, very new for us as college football fans. And where I arrived at with this whole question is essentially this. You can hate the headlines, but still love where you arrive at. Like, the best comp for me is, as a kid, I moved a lot, dude, and every single time I hated it. Like, every single time it was just a gut punch. You hate starting over. Sometimes you may not even like the place that you're being told you're moving to. You don't like the reason you have to move. You don't like what you're leaving. But usually, more often than not, you arrive at that place, you get to the new house, you get to the new school, and, like, things aren't so bad. Like, actually, hey, this school serves hot lunch 5 days a week. That's not so bad. Actually, this house, a little bit more square footage than the last one. Hey, actually, this neighborhood, a little bit better for the bike riding. Like, overall, you can hate these headlines and still love the Saturday product. Because I think the fear for a lot of us was, well, with all the new things in college football, with the NIL and the realignment and the portal work and how it is with free agency, like, the worry was, is college football going to lose that romance? Going to lose the pageantry? Going to lose the emotion? Going to lose the quite frankly, the pride that these players have in their respective schools if they're changing every other year is what it feels like. Like, you still have dudes that are a little bit outside of their gorge saying, I'm going to give every fiber of my being for this winged helmet today. Am I willing to absolutely run through a brick wall and die on that football field for Arizona State today? Or for whatever school you want to fill in the blank with there. And, like, that's a pretty extreme, sentiment to relay, but, like, that's why we love college football. That's what makes it different than the NFL. It's just not professional. There's not guys changing, teams for contracts. And, like, as we started to see more of that happen in college football, we wondered, would it lose the aroma? Rivalry weekend, we said after the fact, like, hey, if it is losing the aroma, we don't see it. I mean, I saw more skirmishes, more dudes having beef after the game. Everybody seemed to want to plant the flag. Yeah, Arizona State planting a trident. I'm here for it. Like, the swag, the emotion, the pride in where you're at school and that logo on your helmet, that's still intact. Because as much as we blow out of proportion how much different players are making, like, that's absolutely a real thing. Guys are getting bags and a half, and, like, more power to them. Capitalize when you can capitalize. There's also a fair amount of dudes that, like, just grew up loving their school, got a chance to go to that school, are now playing at that school, and it means everything to them. Like, that still exists. You don't have an NFL draft format where guys are being taken and everyone's making a minimum of $500,000. Like, that's not the world we're living in here. So as long as that romance is still there, I think the college football diehards, do we love all the headlines? Are we happy to see Marshall have to opt out of a bowl game and see a backup quarterback not be able to play with his team in the playoff? Of course not. That sucks, dude. Like, I hate that. I think a lot of us hate that. At the exact same time, you can hate the headlines and then love where you arrive at. The Saturday product now, I went kicking and screaming, shout out Will Ferrell, the entire way into the conference realignment era. I mean, I was like, hey, I love what the Big 12 is right now. I love seeing Texas and OU over there. I love what the SEC is. I love what the Pac-12 is. Rest in peace, still miss you, baby. But when we arrive at this spot where it's like, hey, we got Texas and Georgia playing, you in? I'm like, yeah, make room. I watch that every single time. Ohio State, Oregon, they're playing 14 times this year. You down? Make room in the car. Let's go. Like, how fast can we get there? The product itself, when we got 11 on 11 and the game kicks off at 3:30 Eastern, is still second to none. Like, if you are just a football junkie and all you care about is the X's and O's and the caliber of product on the field, you got that, man. You got that in spades. Like, as long as there's not this roller coaster in our national park, as long as it's just it's not unrecognizable and the product is still incredible, like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You don't have to love the headlines, don't have to love the path there, don't have to love that you have to move again. But when you get there, it's not so bad. In fact, again, Ohio State, Oregon, I'm here for it. Texas, Georgia, I'm here for it. Arizona State winning the Big 12, I'm here for it. I'll also say this. If you still are sitting here with your arms crossed and saying, nope, not a fan, JD, expanded playoff, forget that. Not my playoff. Give me the BCS. Give me the AP poll picking our national champion. I hear you. I understand. I'm not even saying you're wrong. But I would just maybe throw this your way. I don't think we've even arrived at our final spot just yet. Like whenever you move into a new house, speaking from experience, it takes a second to get comfortable. Like there's boxes in the garage. The plates are usually somewhere laying around the living room for the better part of the first month, maybe month and a half. Like it's going to take a second here for us to make this new college football world home. And y'all, I don't think we've actually reached our final resting point either. Like I don't think we're staying at 12 teams. I don't think we'll have the same format. I don't think that we're done with the conference realignment world with all that entails. Like the tectonic plates are still shifting. So if you're not happy with where we're at right now, the good news is I don't think we've actually reached where we're going to be long term. So with that being said, let's enjoy this college football playoff. Let's enjoy the Saturday product. Again, I think the product itself is as good as it's ever been from a caliber of play perspective. You don't love the headlines. I feel you. But let's enjoy the Saturday product because the romance, the pageantry, the passion, the emotion, from what I can gather from watching Michigan and Ohio State have pepper spray on the field afterwards, that's still there. That's still there.